All right, so we are trying to solve again another problem from JEE Main. In this question, what is being asked here is that we need to find the term independent of x in the expansion of this big expression. Now, if we look at this big expression, then if we think of just expanding it, it will be too much of an ask for us, right? But if we look at very closely, there is something like x raised to the power 2 by 3 minus x raised to the power 1 by 3 plus 1 and so on and so forth. And there is something like x plus 1 in the numerator. So if you look at closely this one, you could think of x plus 1 as x raised to the power 1 by 3 plus 1 raised to the power 1 by 3. And then you could think of this as x cube, and this is this. So what will happen? This will become a cube. If I assume this to be a cube, a, so this will become a cube, and then this will become b cube. And then I could write it as a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. So what is this expression? Let's look at this x is an or let's write whole thing. So a is gonna be x raised to the power 1 by 3 plus 1 raised to the power 1 by 3 into a square will be x raised to the power 2 by 3 because there is 1 by 3 and then 2. This power will get multiplied. So this will become x raised to the power 2 by 3 minus a into b x raised to the power 1 by 3 into 1 raised to the power 1 by 3. 1 raised to the power 1 by 3 is 1. So this will be x raised to the power 1 by 3. Then b square, which is 1 itself, 1 raised to the power 1 by 3, and then it will be raised to the power 2. So this will become 1 itself. So as you can see, this numerator could be written like this, and this thing will get cancelled. So the first part is as simple as this: x raised to the power 1 by 3 plus 1 raised to the power 1 by 3, or I could write it as 1. Now, similarly, if I look at this one very closely, so what do I get here? Let's write this down here. Only if I just take something common out in this one, right, I will be able to figure this out. So let's keep it as x minus 1 for the time being, the numerator. In the denominator, if I take, let's say, square root of x common, then what do I get here is that this will become a square root of x, and this will become minus 1. Now, looking at this, I could think, what can I write this? I can write this as root x whole squared and minus 1 squared upon root x into root x minus 1. Now, this is nothing but a square minus b square. So what do I write this? I will write it as a plus b into a minus b. So this will be square root of x plus 1 into square root of x minus 1 divided by square root of x minus 1. And then there is a square root of x as well. So this and this will get cancelled. So what I'm left with here is square root of x plus 1 upon square root of x. And then there's a minus sign here. So let's write this as square root of x plus 1 upon square root of x and whole raised to the power 10. Okay, now this expression is pretty simpler now. So let's go further and write it as x raised to the power 1 by 3 plus 1. And then if I look at this and separately divide them, then this will become square root of x upon square root of x, and this will become minus 1 by square root of x whole raised to the power 10. Now this will become 1 and this is 1, so this and this will cancel out. So I'm left with only x raised to the power 1 by 3 minus 1 upon square root of x. I could also write it as x raised to the power 1 by 3, and then I could write it as minus x raised to the power minus half whole raised to the power 10. So now this is the binomial expansion, which I can do. And what they want me to find out is the term independent of x in the expansion. So whenever we get such a question, what do? We try to find out the general term. So general term for this one will be 10CR. This is the rth term, I think like r plus 1th term you could call it, or TR term or whatever. So this is what is my general term. This is NCR a raised to the power n minus r. So let me first write that expression itself and then we will write this down. So this is NCR a raised to the power n minus r into b raised to the power r. So this is the one which is the general term of the expansion of a plus b raised to the power n. So In this case, whatever we have got as a plus b, we will write that. So in place of n, we have got 10. And then this is CR. And then a, in place of a, I've got x raised to the power 1 by 3. And whole thing is raised to the power n minus r, which is 10 minus r. And then into b raised to the power, b is minus x raised to the power minus half, and whole thing is raised to the power r. So in the next step, I could write it as 10 CR, and then I could write it as x raised to the power. I can multiply these powers. So this will become 10 by 3 minus r by 3, and into x raised to the power minus x raised to the power, call it, or just take minus 1 out so that it will be easier. So at first I'll write x raised to the power minus half into r, which will be minus r by 2, into minus 1 raised to the power r. This is what it is. Now I'll just use this expression again, minus 1 raised to the power r, and this will be 10 CR. And then I could write it as x raised to the power 10 by 3 minus r by 3 minus r by 2. So this is what is my expression. But if it has to be independent of x, then this power of x should be 0. So this implies that 10 by 3 minus r by 3 minus r by 2 should be actually equal to 0 if this term has to be independent of x. Then this will become 10 by 3, and then let's take r to the other side and make it r by 3 plus r by 2. Then let's take 6 as LCM. This will become 3r plus 2r. So this will become 10 by 3 is actually equal to 5r by 6. So this is 3 to the 6 and then 5 to the 10. So from here I get r as 4. So this, when r is 4, then this is what is my term which is independent of x. So this part x raised to the power 0, this becomes, and this is the part which is remaining, which will be minus 1 raised to the power 4, and then this will be 10C4. So what will be this number? This will be 1, minus 1 raised to the power 4 is 1, and this is 10C4, which is factorial 10 upon factorial 4 into factorial 10 minus 4, which is minus 10, minus 4 is 6. I could write this as 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into factorial 6 upon factorial 4 into factorial 6. Let's write factorial 4 also. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and then write this as factorial 6 as factorial 6. So we can cancel this. 4 2s are 8, 3 3s are 9. So this will be 7 into 3, which will be 21 into 10, which will be 210. So this is what will be my answer. 210 is the term basically. This is what is my term here. So the term which is independent of x in the expansion of this is simply 210. Okay. So that's all it is. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, do ask me in the comment section below, and I'll be really happy to answer your questions. Thanks once again.